Morning. It is Sunday, the very first day of May, starting to really feel like spring is all around us, and that is what Happy May Day is all about, to celebrate the new life and all that is coming before us, all the hopes of the summer coming up, of growing seasons, and just new life. So, welcome this morning to our Sunday morning brief. So this is an opportunity for me to just share a little bit more about what we're going to be doing in worship, and maybe highlight some things in the scriptures that I don't necessarily preach on. And this morning we are continuing in our sermon series or worship series, Dare to Dance Again, which was created by the Worship Design Studio and Marcia McPhee. And we're just looking at how the resurrection of Jesus not only changed the whole world and upset kind of everything, but really brought this new sense of imagination and possibility, and helping dreams of a new future come true. And so that these scriptures that we are hearing this season are helping us to embrace this idea that resurrection is for us as well, and that this power of resurrection enables us to imagine new things and to do new things, and dare to dance in this world that needs more joy and peace and hope. So this morning we're going to hear another kind of viewpoint of the resurrection story, where Jesus enters into a room where the disciples are gathered together. They have not, this would be the first time they've seen him. And we're reading this today from the Gospel of Luke. And what happens just prior to this story in Luke 24 is what we call this appearance of Jesus on the road to Emmaus. So two of the disciples, not two of the 12, two of the other followers of Jesus, after he was crucified and was in the tomb, they took off and left to go back to Emmaus. And so they're traveling on the road. And on that Sunday after Jesus resurrected, he appears to them on the road, though they were not able to recognize him. And he walks along with them, and he's asking them questions about why they're kind of sad and what's going on. And they share that they had hopes and dreams for this Messiah. And, Jesus starts talking to them about the scriptures and telling them how, all of these things seem like all the old scriptures, what we call Old Testament, the scriptures that Jesus and all of them had was pointing to, like, this is what was going to happen. And all the while they're walking on this road to Emmaus, they do not recognize Jesus. And it comes on nightfall, and they find a place to stay, and they invite this stranger Jesus to stay with them, and he does. And they get to the table, and he breaks the bread at the table, and in that instant they recognize him, and then he disappears. So what we're going to hear this morning is that next part so he's disappeared, and now Jesus appears with the 11 disciples, that kind of that inner circle minus Judas, and they're in a room, and Jesus appears, and once it says greets them with, peace be with you. All right, so Luke is very distinct. Well, not very distinct, but it's much different than the story we heard last week. We read from the Gospel of John last week, that resurrection appearance, that Jesus came into the room. There were lots of disciples there, including 10 of the inner 12. We're told that Thomas wasn't there, and Thomas was doubting and, didn't believe what the disciples said until Jesus appeared to him again. So Luke has in his account that everyone, all the 11 were in this room, that all of them doubted, that all of them were disbelieving, all of them couldn't believe their eyes and thought Jesus was a ghost. So I think we want to remember a couple of things about this story, is that Luke was not present in the room. Luke is hearing this story later. And I think why the disciples thought that Jesus was a ghost was because, after these events, the two that had gone to Emmaus came back to Jerusalem and reported to the disciples what had happened, that they saw Jesus on the road. And I suspect that the disciples put two and two together. It said he could not have possibly been way over there having a meal with these two, and then get to us in this upper room back in Jerusalem. And so they just, as they're reporting this to Luke or to someone else who tells Luke, it's this sense of, God, wasn't he a ghost? That had to have been part of what we thought about. So that's what we hear in the story, is that Jesus says, I'm not a ghost. I have here, touch me, feel me. I'm not a ghost. They were still disbelieving. So he ate with them. So this is the story that we're hearing, and it's just a little bit different. What I think that Luke really wants to do is to make this this idea of doubt and disbelief a little more corporate, if you will. Like, it just expands. It wasn't just one person who has doubts and disbeliefs about what God is up to and what God and Jesus want from us. That really we all have that sense of, I don't get it. Wait, God, how can you be doing this? I don't know how to follow you in this new way. And remember, Luke was a colleague of Paul, and so was on many of his missionary trips. So the story is being told to people who would have no reason to understand who the Messiah is, would have no background on who Jesus was. There was, there weren't newspapers detailing the whole events of the Holy Week, the last week of Jesus's life and his death and resurrection. And so I think that Luke wants to give us this this kind of permission to be like, all right, so you're going to disbelieve at times, you're going to have some doubt at times, but Jesus will meet you there. Jesus shows up, says, peace be with you, shows you what you need, and then invites you to go forth in believing. And so that's what we're going to explore a little bit more today. The joy that we have in following Jesus, the joy of having Jesus in our life, even when we don't get it. How can this be? Don't know all the facts, but we'll learn to trust, and Jesus meets us right there. So I hope that you can either watch our worship service or come today on this first day of May. We do worship at 10 a.m. It will be live streamed today, and then you can watch it another time. I'm so pleased and just excited to share all this good news with you all in this worship series. I can't get my words out today. So whatever is going on in your life, know that God is right there with you, busy at work. You may doubt it, you may disbelieve, but God in Jesus' Spirit is with you always. So may the rest of your day be the very best of your day, and I hope to see you in church.